Save me from traps. Yep, silver door this way. I do not foresee good things for that one. Oh, well, look what we have here. Unfortunately, and potentially better shoes as well. Well, this is suddenly becoming very interesting indeed. Running out of space. Very unfortunate. Especially since I'm looking for a big old treasure chest. Well, I'll figure that out later. Okay. The one downside is that having the effects of this crit shrine is rather noisy. Okay, that is not quite what I was looking for. I mean, it's useful to know. Don't get me wrong. Right, it is very important to not misclick here. Oh, this trap is broken. Wait, can I teleport across? Not quite. They were too careful about that. Oh, an orb of scouring. I think I might actually need one of those. Yeah, this is the part of the labyrinth where I expected to see those blade traps. Did I just go around a full circle again? I hate when that happens. Nothing that way. Well, maybe there's something this way. as usual, I like the background music. There's just all kinds of really good art, both visual and musical.
Too much clutter.
You're telling me. What? Oh. I believe this is the way towards what I'm looking for. Watch the pointer very carefully. What are you doing here? Well, I have to admit, I can use a jeweler's sword. That was nice. Oh, this is not nice though.
Where there's a silver key, there must be a silver door.
I'm gonna have to decide which awesome things to throw away, aren't I? This is nothing special. This is definitely nothing special. If I can just... oh, I don't even know. Chaos resistance? But nah, that just 8% chaos resistance is not going to help me much. These scholar boots look promising though. And... blah, these silk gloves would be amazing if they had a resistance of some kind. It would be a huge increase in energy shield. But I need all the fire resistance I can get, which is why I want these so much. I hate to say this, but an orb of fusing might be called for. These I'll have to just get rid of, because I will definitely need space afterwards. Thank you for bearing with me on this incredibly long journey. Well, I guess it isn't so long for you since I'm dividing these up into more than one video, but I hope you get the general idea. Later in the game, there are people who do loot runs of the labyrinth. And as you can imagine, they use rather different techniques than I do. For one thing, if you are sufficiently prepared, it can be worth your while to power up the boss as much as possible. And then get extra treasure keys. They also tend to know their way around the labyrinth a little bit better and skip as much of the minor loot places as possible, unlike what I'm doing. If you're really dedicated about this, it becomes almost a speedrun kind of thing. Nope, no door this way. Do not navigate by map too much in the labyrinth, though. At least unless you're sure that you're very far away from traps. Haha, I was not paying attention. That was very scary. Chromatic orb? Sure, why not? I'm starting to run out of places to look for the silver door. I'm definitely running out of places to look. Is it this way? Or around here? Well, whichever. I have a lot of walking to do. More needlessly reckless walking. So, not there. Maybe there, though. Yep, here we go.
Any mystery can be unlocked.
Sorry, sir, can't listen to you right now. Orb of Alchemy. 3 orbs of alchemy. Chaos orb. Now can I loot this? Please? Thank you. I believe we are approaching the end of this labyrinth run. Well, more of a labyrinth crawl the speed that I'm doing it, but hey. Yep, that's the final location. Deep breath time.
An aspirant can afford to be promising. An emperor must keep those promises. The custom of the Lord's trial was upheld throughout the founding years of the Empire. Verusso's successor, Caspiro, was a low-born legionnaire, the lone survivor of a labyrinth that claimed the lives of every high-born contender, including Verusso's only son. Caspiro proved to be every bit the emperor that Verusso was. Alas, the Lord's labyrinth was corrupted by those with the vanity to consider their blood more precious than their empire. Selfish blood breeds selfish times, and the Empire paid for it with its own blood, with the Knight of 1,000 Ribbons, with that most regal of cannibals, Emperor Romira.
Welp.
Not anymore. I, Isaro Frecius, shall return us to justice. I shall build the greatest Lord's labyrinth in Asmerian history, and my successor shall be chosen by the goddess herself. Only when the Lord's labyrinth is drenched in selfish blood can a true leader ascend the throne.
Well, I think that's about it for that strain of lore, but we're not done yet. Yeah, I'll organize this stuff later. Right now I just need space, provided I survive, of course. That is a lot of cold resistance, which unfortunately I do not need right now. No, I already did that. This one.
The guide led the warrior down a path that wound and twisted through fields of blossoming promises. Green-bladed hopes. The warrior closed his eyes, a mere moment to feel the warmth of the sun on his back, and to drink from the guide's proffered flask. Now the warrior staggers, and crawls down the wounded, tortured causeway. The bitterness stings his weeping eyes, the fire roars in his belly, consuming him. The warrior will not ascend. Instead he hunts, guided by his love for Esamir.
Well, let's hope that our story ends better than that one. No promises, though.
You must navigate your empire through trouble.
Well, let's get started.
Claim your inheritance.
Okay, something else is hitting me.
Give no quarter. Show me your resolve. You are free.
Huh. They put a lot of detail on that stuff. Well, I got 2 treasure keys instead of 1 because all of those element statues were active when I killed them. That was actually an oversight on my part. Stacking several of these power-ups is not for amateurs. I'll put it that way.
Before your emperor, you are worthy. Before the goddess of justice, you are worthy. Receive our blessings, embrace our gifts, and rise, Ascendant. For this is the ending that we all deserve.
Oh well, that's 1 key down. The contents of these treasure chests vary wildly. That's a good example. That was very high rarity. And 1 more. Sometimes there are explosions of currency, like what I showed a little while back. Actually, I have no idea what's in all of the possibilities for these treasure chests. Of course, as I mentioned before, if that was the only thing that I accessed at the end, it would probably not be worth it. Well, let's see what this does. On a pair of gloves, huh? Well, let's see if I can do anything with this. Word of reflection? Not even sure what that is. The real prize is here. The Altar of Ascendance. I can choose a subclass. Now, you'd think that Elementalist would be a no-brainer. This game has very few no-brainer decisions. My choice is the Occultist, and the reason is I want to use Energy Shield as my main strongest defense. And the Occultist has very useful Energy Shield abilities. So I'm going with this.
Throw off the chains of fear and embrace that which was forbidden.
For going through the labyrinth the first time, I get 2 points for this ascendancy. And I'm going to put it into this energy shield chain here. It improves my energy shield considerably. And it prevents energy shield recharge interruption for 4 seconds after it begins recharging. There's more, of course. As I said, I'll unlock more harder versions of the labyrinth, more harder, as I progress, and I will earn more points towards that ascendancy tree. That's much later, though. Now, I think I need to take a break. Perhaps you do as well. I hope you enjoyed this. Next time, we're going to advance in the storyline, Act 4. I'll see you there.